As a kid, the most hauntingly beautiful and memorable movie I've watched was Spirited Away. Somehow the scenes drew me in, and I felt the fears, but also the wonder of it all. In the bathhouse that Chihiro worked at, there were lots of creatures that came in, and among them, my favorite was this group of ducks called Ōtori-Sama. I start off with a light sketch of the scene, and then I proceed to making a pale yellow for the base color of the ducks. Keep in mind that the pencil drawing I made did not include any shadow elements because those would be covered up anyways and won't be very helpful in applying that coat of paint on top. First, I fill in all the ducks with their base coat, and then when that's dry, I add in the shadow, which is a tan yellow ochre. Notice that the water is green. This is because the Japanese onsen have herbal mixtures added in. This makes the water smell lovely and provides some additional benefits. These ducks remind me of the penguins of Madagascar because they've got this same dumbfounded look and also similar egg-shaped bodies. It's really cute. So I've been to a Japanese hot spring as a kid before, and the general process is to wash yourself with soapy water with little buckets before entering. And you can see some of the ducks outside of the tubs doing that with their buckets of soapy water. So the dirty washcloths are on their head to prevent them from touching the water. And that's a rule that's generally followed in Japanese onsen, so some of the ducks here have that on their head. And when they get out, they can cover themselves with it and dry off. For this painting, these are the steps I usually follow. So after putting down the base color for everything, and also applying a shadow onto some of those base colors, I'll let everything dry, and then afterwards get to the shadows and the highlights. After all that is done, I'd apply the outlines to really define all the shapes. And then my favorite part is at the very end, adding in some textures to the ground, to the background, and some very small details that go over the outlines. So these small details would emphasize the materials used to construct these hot springs, such as the laminated wood and stone, and also make the overflowing water look very clear and viscous. The texture of the tub is probably the toughest part in terms of blending, since in animation, the moving objects usually have very defined shadows and they're not blended in. However, the background, such as the floor and the tub, which is drawn in first as a separate layer, have a lot of texture to them, and they're usually blended in and very smooth. And so here I would add in the base coat, and then on top of it add the shadow, then really quickly taking a damp brush to blend the two together so that it's more seamless. And then when that's dry, I'll add some more texture on top by painting in the vertical lines coming down to show that there are panels of wood making up this tub. Then on top there's this twisted braided rope that goes all around the tub, and I just use a lighter color to put little streaks across to emphasize that twisted cord. Notice that wherever the ducks meet the water, the outlines of their body become very loose and wavy. Also, when I'm outlining the bodies of these ducks, I take this time to add in texture to their fur so that little strands of fur stand out on the tops of their heads and also some to the sides. I also add in some texture to the bottom of their chin to suggest that there are specks of fur that stick out everywhere. Now comes my second favorite part, which is peeling off this washi tape to get that clean border. And there we go. Here is the finished painting. Hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed painting this.